Good morning and welcome to the IELTS speaking test organized here at Thompson School. My name is Shabik Rafshanov and I am going to be your examiner for today. Can I get to know your name, please?
My name is Inoyat. My surname is Одилҳоджаева.
Okay, Inoyat, we're now going to speak in the first part in which I'm going to ask you some general questions about yourself and a few other questions. And I want to start with a simple question. What do you do?
Currently, I'm a student and I study at school in 11th grade. And I'm going to graduate this year.
Have you ever worked before? Do you have any working experience?
No, I haven't because I was told to not think right now because I'm just a student.
What about the future? What job are you planning to have in the future?
I'm thinking about it to become economist, as it is one of the really well-known professions in the world.
Are there any other options for you, maybe?
Right now I have several options, but I stopped at economist. But talking about those variants, I can tell you that, for instance, I thought about to become a dentist, but unfortunately I'm not good at chemistry.
Okay. So does that mean that you don't like chemistry, or is it just difficult for you?
It's really complicated for me, as you have to solve a lot of tasks and just learn the table, and that's why.
And what is your favorite subject in this case?
I'm really obsessed with English because the way how it sounds and the pronunciation of it, and that's why I'm obsessed with English.
English is your favorite one?
Yes.
Well, let's talk about numbers here also in the first part, and I want to ask you a very interesting question. Do you have a favorite number?
Yes, I have one. It might sound banal, but it is my date of birth, and it's 21st. My date. Oh my God, stop. My favorite number is 24 because it's the day when I was born.
And do you have a number that you don't like?
No, I don't have one because I think that every number is has its own beauty, and also it's really essential for people.
Do you think numbers have specific meanings, like each number has a specific meaning?
I think yes, but it depends on a person, how that person associates with something. For instance, there are so many people who associate luck with the number 7, and they use it a lot.
All right, and do you like working with numbers?
Honestly, as I mentioned before, I'm going to become economist, which means I'll be working with them a lot, and I think that it's one of the significant parts of it, as I have to deal with some kind of tasks in the future.
Let's talk about colors here also in the first part. Do you have a favorite color?
Yes, I have one. It's white. And all those bright colors, it is just because I associate them with pure soul and innocence.
Is there any color that you don't like?
I can say that they have their own beauty, and I wouldn't say that they are ugly or some kind of unnecessary. So that's why.
And in your opinion, in interior design, what is the worst color to choose for painting a wall, for example?
I think that it's brown color because it's not the best color to choose to paint walls. Because I can say that it's hard to purchase some kind of items and match them.
Okay. Well, we're now going to move on to the second part. Okay, now we're going to do the second part, and I will actually give you the cue card. you will have it seen, printed right here. I'm also going to provide you with a pencil to make some notes. And your cue card is, describe a crowded place you've been to. You should say when you went there, where the place was, who you went there with, and explain how you felt about this certain place. You have a minute to prepare. Make some notes if you wish. We are now about to start. Please remember, in the second part, you should be speaking for around 2 minutes. If you speak longer than that, I may stop you, but don't worry about that. Let's do it.
I would like to talk about the place where I went, and it was really crowded. On 7th of March, I went to Next store, which is in Yekkasaray district, and I went there because I wanted to purchase some kind of a present for my mom for International Mother's Day, and I went there. I was looking for some kind of presents that are unusual, and in order to make her happy, and I ended up purchasing scented candles, which makes a room really cozy and lets you relax fully. And I went there with my friends from math courses where I go, and we went to other shops, to other stores, and it was really crowded because I went there at the weekends, and in those days there's usually exhibition that is held, and it might take place for 3 days, even for 3 days. And I can tell you that it was not the best day to go because I felt very dizzy and I was so nervous because I don't like going to some kind of populated places, and because of there are some people who wear really strong perfume, and which can influence on me. And talking about it, I can also say that it was really hot day. It was really hot that day, and I wasted there approximately 3 hours. It is just because there was a lot of people, and it was really hard to get to some kind of products to scrutinize them.
Okay, now we're going to move on to the third part. And here in this third part, I want to ask you questions about crowded places as well. And the first question is, why do a lot of people enjoy going to crowded places?
For me, it's a bit strange because I'm not accustomed to going some kind of places that are really crowded. But for some people, it might seem that they might feel themselves not alone, and just to have fun as it makes them to probably they feel more relaxed with a lot of people surrounded with.
Okay. Where would you say is the most crowded place in your city?
I would definitely say that it's Çarşı Bazaar, because there are so many tourists that choose to go there, and also in Tashkent it's approximately 33 million of people, which means that our citizens usually go there, and I can say that there are a lot of people usually at the weekends.
Then, would you say it's important for a city to have amusement, recreational facilities? Like parks, for example?
Yes, it is really convenient to earn a lot of money for particular government, as it can attract tourist attention. And in Tashkent, I would say that there was Babur, garden, which was really popular around a decade ago, but unfortunately it is being restored right now.
And my last question here is, why do you think so many people choose to live in big cities despite the disadvantages of living in big cities?
That's a tough question. Let me think, please. I would say that the reason is it is just because they really like to be in a crowded places, because they, as I mentioned before, there are some people in the world that might feel alone living in some kind of suburban area and not being crowded with people and houses as well. And usually people go there, usually people choose to live in really populated places and big cities, because in those cities, according to that, there are so many people, it's more convenient to everybody, as it's more developed.
Thank you. That is the end of speaking test. When it comes to the band score that this candidate is going to get, and when it comes to the feedback in general, let's say that the fluency is a certain 7, and when it comes to lexical resource, it's going to be a certain 7 as well. If I am more specific about lexical resource, I have to mention that the student said really crowd instead of really crowded on multiple occasions, I believe. And then the candidate also used the phrase some kind of, but that was a bit too simple for a band 8, for example, in the lexical resource criterion. When it comes to grammar, it's also a 7, because there were a few missed articles, and the grammatical range was not impressive enough for an 8, but it was not bad enough for, let's say, a 6. So I believe that's a certain 7 when it comes to grammar. And pronunciation was really good throughout the speaking interview, but because of a few errors with TH and a few moments when I found it difficult to understand the candidate, I believe this is also going to be a 7, which means overall this is a very strong 7. So band score 7 for the student, with all 7s in all criteria.